Hello, 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 my dear friends of the orderly chaos. Today, from the inside, it's raining outside. Oh my God, I so love to do it outside, but hey, that's just what it is. So, today, here we go. Do you know your BaZi, your Chinese horoscope? Well, you may know the animal of the year you were born in, but do you know that you have three more animals which are really important for your path in life? It's not just about the animal born in the animal in the year you're born. It's also about the animal in the month, on the day, and in the hour you're born in. So actually, we've got four animals. That's why it's called the BaZi, 8 characters, or also 4 pillars of destiny. So the question is, would you like to know more about them? Well, let me know in the comments if you do. And today I would like to introduce to you the fiery horse. Well, if you're born in 54, 66, 78, 2000, 1990, or 2002, then this might be something for you. Also, if you're born in the month of June or between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So when we're referring to the year, I say that every time. Be careful. We're talking about the year from 4th of February. With the horoscope, we're using the solar calendar. We're not using the lunar calendar. That's the Chinese New Year that you know that's been celebrated according to the moon, and it's different every year. In this Chinese solar calendar, which is the one to use for horoscope, the Chinese New Year is always on the 4th of February. That is the official beginning of the spring. So if you're born before February 4th, then you all still belong to the animal of the year before. Okay, so this is what we're looking at today. As I said, the horse is born under the yang fire element. So you've got a really fiery element. You know, the steak yesterday is a yin fire, so it's a slower but more steady burning fire. The horse is hefty and it's but more or less short-lived. So you can already see that there's a difference in the quality from the elements alone. And then depending on which horse you are, you get another element on top of that, an additional element that we call the heavenly stem. So the horse is the earthly branch, and you get another element, one of 5, water, wood, fire, earth, or metal on top of it. And really on top of it, by the way. I just realized. So that is the thing. We actually don't have just 12 animals in the Chinese horoscope, because you have 12 animals and 5 elements on top of it, which means we actually have 60 different pillars. And since your horoscope consists of 4 pillars, 60 different possibilities, you see there's a lot of combinations possible. And depending on how the animal signs in itself, number one, in which pillar they appear, year, month, day, or hour, they have a different meaning, different aspect, and also the little animals amongst each other. Some of them are friends. For instance, for the horse, the goat is a friend. The rat is an enemy. You will see later why. And it's also a big harmony with tiger and dog. So if you're lucky, next year is the year of the tiger. So you already, if you're a horse, you already have 2 of the 3 harmonies. So you just have to look which month, or maybe you've got a dog in your horoscope too, or which month is the dog month. So that is your lucky month next year. So, but looking deeper into the horse today, we're not going too deep into the aspect of time. That would be a completely different level. But the horse itself is born under the sign of elegance. You know, it is a charming manner. It's quite popular. They love meeting people, and they love parties and social gatherings. It's a lively character, and the horse really enjoys being the center of attention. And a very, very eloquent speaker, most of them, and honest and straightforward. So they love discussions and debates, and they have a very agile mind. But you know, this is the thing. They have a very fiery temper. So I would love to watch, not be in it, but watch a debate or a discussion between a dragon, a tiger, and a horse. That would be absolutely fascinating and interesting how they would get along with each other. 3 very fiery, very strong elements. And that would be a very interesting discussion. Maybe we should have a look who is in there and then arrange something, whatever. So the horse has a very wide range of activities and interests. And as much as the interests have love to change it, it's really short interest. That's what I said in the beginning. It's a yang fire, so it's about woof. So really interested, deep going into the matter and really diving deep, and then, oh, okay. So it's a shiny object syndrome very often. And we already had that with the tiger, didn't we? So there's something in common with those two. So they don't last long on one thing. It's really this yang fire, which also you can see, of course, burnout looming. That is the other side of the interest and this fiery element and the really love to change and this and that. It's really an issue here. And you have to watch it because the horse is also a very, very good and hard worker. Not a hard worker as the ox, but more as in, as I said, diving deep in and then forgetting time and everything and just working. Within the work, and that's the big difference to the ox, the horse loves its freedom and independence really, really strongly. You know, like a horse running that way. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I go that way. And the horse despises rules and regulations, especially if they're against common sense. Then they wouldn't follow. So if you've got an employee who is a horse, you better make sure that the rules and regulations are clear and that they agree. Because if they feel petty to them or just for this one occasion changing, they won't follow. This is just not in the horse. But if you have them on board, they will communicate the goals and the rules and regulations too, and they will stick with it and stand with it. It's just important that the horse understands that why these rules and regulations are important, and that it's not just whatever. So because if you have a horse as an employee, really a methodical and tireless worker, very methodical. So you have to actually let them work their way. Otherwise, they get bored very soon and just change subject and just will leave with all the skills that they have. So for the horse, success is everything. That's why they are such tireless workers. They really love success and for the right reasons. And for them to fail is a disaster. It's more than that. It's a humiliation, actually. Other than the tiger, who's very bad in picking up the pieces, the horse can pick up the pieces, but every piece that the horse picks up is, again, a humiliation. So spare it to them, maybe. I don't know. That would be a nice thing to do. Well, the horse is also kind of a lucky sign. It's not declared a lucky sign, but the horse can see opportunities. So it runs towards the opportunities. But that also gives it a very restless nature, very restless, easily getting bored. So it's really, their interests are so various and so quick and changing. They would make a really good archaeologist, probably. So they and also because they love to travel, by the way. Oh yeah, that's why I came to the archaeologist. They love to travel. They love to go to places where nobody has been before. They're not so much for the tracks that have been taken before. They're more about going off the beaten track, visiting new and faraway places. And they also like to live abroad. That would be an interesting study to look into immigrations, how many of the immigrants are actually horses. So that would be interesting, wouldn't it? So yeah. And also the horse is very adaptable. So they do really well in a new nature. So as I said before, oh, I did not say that. Oh, yes. In relationships, very loyal, very protective. So you really go with a horse. That's not a problem. The only thing you need to realize is, like what I mentioned before, the freedom. They need to have space for their independence. You can't corner a horse. You can't lock it in. That's just will not work in a relationship. You have to give the horse space from time to time, because they need to go out and look what's going on because they have so many interests, and they know there's so much to discover in this beautiful world. So they really want to look at these things. And if you let the horse look at the things, most of them won't feel the need to actually pursue it. So that is the thing in a relationship with a horse. I said before, the ox is not a good match because the ox is really serious and intolerant, and a horse is really very tolerant and can loves their friends and of all kinds. The reason why the rat is not such a good match is the rat is all about security. So if you remember, the rat resides in the north and the horse resides in the south. So they're quite opposite in nature. The rat and the security, the rat loves to like, if you look at a Feng Shui perspective, curtains, darker, cocooning, soft cushions, and so on. The horse is all about south, openness, sunshine, glass, indoor, outdoor, light. So they're really very opposite on the spectrum. And that's why a rat-horse relationship would be really challenging. I don't say it's impossible, because as I always say, there are 4 pillars. So they could harmonize on other ones and use that challenge between the rat and the horse to grow, to adapt to whatever is present in the very moment. The flip side of the horse, it can be very self-centered. It can be very self-centered, very restless, impatient. Their life will rarely be dull, but that can also mean that they think they are something special, and they are in a way. But when the ego comes in, that can be not as nasty as some of the other ones, but a bit arrogant, maybe. Yeah, a bit arrogant, that could be. So the key word here for the horse is popularity. Horse is popular, independent, outspoken, sociable, restless, impatient, but very honest and popular. So, and totally rejects dishonest behavior. If you want an honest opinion on something, ask a horse. But as I always say, again, this would be the case. So if we would have only one sign and only one character, but we don't. Not one person has just this one character. There's always the other pillars. And also, your environment is really important, because your heaven luck, your BaZi, makes only 33% of your luck. The other 66% coming from your environment, your earth luck, what you know as Feng Shui, and your man luck, which is your choices, your environment, your beliefs, your thoughts, and your behaviors, and how you've been brought up. So this is called the Trinity of Feng Shui, and this is what shapes your path in life. And this is where the BaZi really can help you finding out when is it time to change, and how to change, and what to change. And when it's not necessary to bang your head against the proverbial wall and just don't even try. So in the end, it's all about doing the right thing at the right place at the right time. And that is what the whole Chinese metaphysics is about. Be it the horoscope, be it the Feng Shui, be it the Qigong, all of them. It's about really what to do at the right time, at the right place. So I hope that helps. And let me know in the comments if that helped you and what would be something you'd be interested in. And I see you again tomorrow, maybe outside, maybe inside again, who knows, with the goat. So if you are a goat, I would love to see you tomorrow and hear from you. And let's see what the goat has to offer. See you tomorrow. Bye.